Hey guys, so Grinding Gear Games just dropped some huge news about the release timing for the patch 0.4 for Path of Exile 2. So here's the note that they gave to us, and let's just read over it. So we are now in the third month of the Rise of the Abyssal League in Path of Exile 2, and you may be wondering when to expect the next big release. We are still on track with our 4-month release schedule, and are currently planning to launch the 0.4 content update in early December. So early December, not mid-December, not late December. Though, I feel like they could be technically a little bit loosey-goosey with that term, but it's fine. It is coming in December. We will release the live stream and release date very soon, so keep an eye on the news. The ongoing Rise of the Abyssal League will end in a few weeks, so, all the rest of the stuff is about what will happen to your characters. Basically the same thing that's happened before between 0.2 and 0.3. A couple of days before the start of the league, your characters from 0.2, the Rise of the Abyssal League, will probably go and migrate over to Standard, and there won't be a league in that time, probably for about a day or two. And then the 0.4 patch will come out, and the new league will come out with that, and you're able to make new characters. So yeah, this is really awesome, and it confirms that the update is going to be coming in December, much like we pretty much all expected. There were some people thinking it might be in January, but I don't think that was really going to be a possibility, given that the winter holidays were going to be coming up, and I don't think they really wanted to release the game after the winter holidays. So yeah, now what does this mean for us as players? So patch 0.3 was the first real league for Path of Exile 2. Patch 0.1 was, of course, early access. We only had standard. 0.2 was just an economy refresh. They said it wasn't a league, but they did add some new stuff. And then patch 0.3 was our first league with the Abyss League. And now patch 0.4 will be our second new league. And we will be having who knows what mechanic, maybe Delve, right? So what this basically means is the Abyss mechanic is no longer going to be appearing in every single map. So in the current league, whether it's in the campaign or whether it is in endgames, the Abyss mechanic appears in every single map. But once that is not the main league mechanic anymore, the Abyss mechanic will just be occurring every now and then, kind of like how rituals appear every now and then, expeditions appear every now and then, breaches appear every now and then, of course, unless you're putting in tablets, right? So there might be a new Abyss tablet if they still think they want to stay with the Abyss, like the whole tablet mechanic. So going forward, it'll probably be a breach tablet, ritual tablet, delirium tablet, expedition tablet, precursor tablet. I don't think I'm missing anything else, and then the Abyss tablet. That way you juice your map with abysses, and you're going to have Abyss in every map that you juice it in. On top of that, what they are likely going to be doing is going to be adding the Abyss mechanic onto the Atlas tree. So right now, each of these quote-unquote endgame mechanics we have a tree for, right? Breach, delirium, expedition, whatever. Now, what they're likely going to be doing is adding a tree also for Abyss. This is pretty much how they've done things always in the past, and you can see in Path of Exile 1, the same is the case. So right now we are in the Breach League, so there is no Breach nodes on this tree. You can see I'm going to type in Breach, you'll see nothing. But in the past with other leagues, let's say like Ritual, you can see that when I type that in, you'll see a bunch of Ritual nodes on here. You'll also see a bunch of Delirium nodes onto here as well, right? So every single league mechanic has their own tree, and as a result, if Abyss goes core, which I don't think it won't, I have no reason to believe that it won't go core, it'll probably get its own tree in the Atlas as well, helping us flesh out that Atlas a little bit more, making it a lot more impactful, hopefully, going forward. Of course, patch 0.4 is also going to be the endgame patch. So it's going to be the update where it's going to change a lot of things in the endgame. So who knows? The tree might just completely change and look completely different. But again, if the mechanic for Abyss does go core, I would highly expect that there will be a tree or at least nodes on the tree that specifically affect how Abyss works in the game. Now, on top of that, I'm also expecting changes to other things in the end game as well. Of course, maybe a little bit more around towers and tablets and how those work together. Maybe things around like rarity and whether or not rarity will affect currency going forward. Some of these big ticket issues that players have been having so far with the end game, as well as potentially, hopefully, changing how the endgame loop actually works, because we've been having the same exact endgame loop since 0.1. So I would highly expect them to be changing up how the endgame works and giving us a little bit of a fresh endgame, let's just say, so that we're not as bored doing the endgame. Because I know a lot of people dropped off of Path of Exile 2 after spending a little bit of time in the endgame in 0.3, because they're like, hey, I've pretty much seen this in the last patch 2 patches, so I'm just going to be waiting until patch 0.4 to come back, and hopefully things will change. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this patch. Are you guys excited for 0.4? And what do you think is going to be coming in patch 0.4 as well? But that's about it for me today. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, don't forget the sub button is the best way to support the channel. And I also stream on twitch.tv/MeSoXshu every single night. So going over there, hanging out with me is another thing that you could do to support the channel. Other than that, that's about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see y'all on the next one. All right, guys. Peace.